your odds of success. The harder it is to give up, the more you must plan. When people are living a fear-based lifestyle, they give in a lot. People need to learn when to say yes, when to say no, and when to say no more. The problem is when confronted with a fear-based decision, people say yes a little at a time when they don't mean it. These little yeses and compliances along the way eat away at their compromised life. It's important that you learn to say no or no more. This way, it never gets to the point where you lose something valuable little by little. It's a choice. You either never give up or you continually give in. Giving in will destroy you. Okay, Ray. So we have a few comments on this today, huh, Ray?
We did have a couple comments.
Right.
Let's see if we're up on Facebook.
Ray's managing the panel and so he can see all your comments.
Doesn't look like we're up on YouTube. Oh, there you are.
Okay, so whatever comments or questions you have about tonight's insight, never give up. We want to hear from you guys, okay?
Well, we got two good ones.
Two comments.
Okay. One from Viola. Viola always sends a comment because she's sleeping now at this time.
She sees it the next day. She's in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. In the netherworld. She's sleeping. Netherlands.
In the netherworld. Good, Ray.
There you go. Viola said, giving in is like a red flag to me. That is the result when there's a constant pressure on you from others to do something that they want you to do.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and you cannot resist it. You know, they're pushing you and pushing you and pushing you.
Yeah.
I remember the feeling from my childhood when teachers pressured the kids to do things that the teachers wanted.
That the teachers what?
Wanted.
Yeah.
It's an awful feeling. It's like giving away your free will and your freedom. I will never give up my resistance of giving in.
I will never give up my resistance of giving in.
Mm-hmm.
So she stands strong.
Right.
All right.
Linda said, it's important to write in your journal when you feel pressured to give in. Yeah, write down what you're feeling. Once you have logged another attempt where someone is pressuring you to give in, you get 10 times stronger. Yeah, just by writing it down.
You do.
Once you have a record of it and you have the proof of what happened, how it made you feel, and what you realized, so you always take the right action for your life. This is the unbeatable process that will always reveal the truth to you without feeling pressured.
Okay, so what this is about becoming conscious of what you really are feeling, which leads you to making better decisions sooner. That's what consciousness is. It makes you stronger, more stable in your life. All right, go ahead, Ray.
And Veronica Baca left a comment. She said, for me, I seem to be guided to make choices that resemble previous choices in my life, only with more learning in my awareness. I'm totally committed to my own growth, truth, and love. I make choices that seem to take me in circular patterns at times, but life gets easier and more clear in the long run. Still, through some bumpy patches in the short run. Is this in the category of never giving up? I think it is. So she's having some of the same things come around again.
Right.
Being pressured to do something again.
And and let me say something about that before Ray reads my comment to her reply. That's similar to living out a whole lifetime, then being released from this world to go back to source energy, back to where you came from, and realize that you didn't finish what you came here to do, only to have to come back here and do this again. What's going on with Veronica is realizing it while she's still in this lifetime. And she's seeing the pattern, and she's stepping back and she's doing the writing. I know Veronica's writing in her journal, and that's what's making her see it, is making her wake up to what she's really doing. So she doesn't have to go and leave at some point, be released from this world and come back and do this again. And because she missed this, it's like missing something in class. She is now more aware, more conscious, and she's going to get this in this lifetime before she moves on, so that when she does come back, if she does have to come back, she won't have to be working on this. She will be working on something more important than this. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, Linda answered Veronica. That's right. It's natural to feel like you're going in circles sometimes, except now you are more aware of it when you do it. You feel when you are rocking off your center and have less tolerance for the compromise. That's what's different about you now, Veronica. You are getting more steady with every passing day.
Right. That's right. She's becoming more aware. Okay. And the only way that's happening is Veronica has learned to speak with her guides. She actually is one of the teachers on our private Facebook group, Ask the Universal channel. So she knows how to do that. And as a result of that and the journaling, which I know she's doing, the journal writing, she's getting clear about this. Veronica is stronger than she's ever been. She's really getting this. She's going to get this, and she's going to do way more in this lifetime than she ever anticipated, because she's getting this stuff out of the way. All right.
I think that's pretty natural for a lot of people who have a goal in mind, something they want to improve on. Okay.
Yeah.
And they try a little bit and they get discouraged, and sometimes they give up, but other people try it again and try it again and try it again. It's kind of a discipline. You either have the discipline to keep going or you don't.
But when people try again, I know what that looks like. They try again and only to fail again and try again and fail again and try again. Oh my God, it isn't supposed to be that hard. Right. It's never supposed to be that hard. If you're writing down what you're trying again in your journal and tracking and logging what's going on with you and dating it, as you move through it, you are, what did I say in that one? 10 steps ahead of where you
10 times more powerful than you were the first time.
This accelerates the process. This moves you through it. So you don't have to keep trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. Never give up, never give up. It gets old. That gets totally old. All right. And as you write in your journal, you're going to see that you're not alone. You're going to see that you have help as you move through this. I'm talking about your guides. You can't help but notice it and feel it and start to connect with the guidance that's always being sent to you. You'll just all of a sudden get surprised by it and realize it, and you'll see things you didn't see before, like your guides. You'll see them talking to you in your dream. You'll go, oh my God, was that my guide? Yeah, that was your guide. Now you're beginning to see it because you can see it, because you're writing it down as you move through it. Nobody thinks you're crazy when you communicate in this. Nobody's going to say that you're nuts or insult what you're writing down, or that you don't know how to punctuate, or you don't know all the nonsense that goes with it. You guys, this is not about that a writing course where you have to learn how to write. This is about what's going on in you, what's really happening. Okay. That's what this is about. This is about you and your relationship with yourself, and to accelerate your life. Okay. It's not about perfect writing. There's no perfect writing in here. All right. Don't worry about your spelling. Don't worry about, saying it the right way. Don't worry about that. Write it down how it feels and just write the thing down. Nobody sees it except for you.
Yeah, if you don't write it down, then you're going to make the same.
You're going to carry it around.
Same mistake.
Think of it that way.
Yeah.
If you don't write it down, you're going to carry it around.
Oh, that's good.
And you won't ever see it. You'll just feel it all the time, holding you back. When you write it down, You take it out of here, you put it on the pages. It's out here now. It's not in here now. You put it down, you look at it a week later, what you wrote down, and then you realize what's really going on with you. That's the tenfold acceleration that you're going to have. Bam, you get right through it. Okay. This is not supposed to be hard. In fact, you guys will find out just how much fun this is. You will be addicted to your writing because finally you're being heard. Finally, you're getting it out of here and you're putting it somewhere where it still matters, where it really matters. And it's not up to somebody to criticize you or critique you or tell you, oh, you didn't write it this way, you didn't do that, or what about this? And they, well, I think it should be like that. It's nobody's opinion about what it's like for you. It's not what they think it should be. It is what it is. Okay. It comes out of you. It comes from you onto those pages. And that is your truth. As you understand it and you build on that and you begin to break it down and you begin to see through it and grasp what's going on with you and have those aha moments, all right, on top of each other, moment after moment, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. You guys won't miss this. You won't miss your life. So never give up. How could you possibly ever think you could ever give up once you have this on your side? You on the pages, a history of what you document about what's going on with you on a day-to-day basis, 15 minutes every day, write in your journal. This happens to be the one I recommend. It's the one I wrote after everyone that read or listened to Guided asked me, how do I do this, Linda? How do I make this connection? How do I get my life back on track? This is why I wrote this book. This is a unique way of walking you through a 4-step process with each journal entry each day for 15 minutes.
It will change your life.
It is a life changer.
So Linda Schwartz, hola, Linda. Linda lives in Mexico.
I know.
We're international. Netherlands,
we
Mexico,
are. Oh my gosh.
Central America, Kansas, Nebraska. Linda Schwartz has a good idea about not quitting. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter what. Complete your mission.
That's blood and guts.
That's it.
Okay, that's what that is. I'm telling you, it's not supposed to be hard. Write it in your journal. Keep your journal. It won't take you, when you guys do this, if you do what I'm telling you for just 1 month, and you write in your journal 15 minutes a day for just 1 month every day, and you follow the 4-question sequence, write it down. How does it make you feel? What do you realize from what you wrote down and how it made you feel? And what action do you intend to take? Okay. Or what inaction are you not able to take? You will catch yourself. You will see where you're getting hung up. But if you don't write it down, you're never going to be conscious of it. You're never going to be able to see and refer back to it and go, oh, I see it now. I see that one and how that one ties in to that one and how I had that dream and that's what that meant. And that's when I talked to that person, what I realized when I talked to them and what came to me and how that tied into the dream and to the previous thing I wrote down and the insight I had and the time I got out of the shower and what came to me and when I was driving my car, washing the dishes, sweeping the floors, what all these things came to me. Treasure chest. Okay. Never give up. You will be so excited about your life. Never giving up will be a thing of the past. This thing about never giving up right now, people have been through a lot of stress regarding this lockdown. All right. And there's been a lot of people who have felt like giving up. Okay. So that's why this came out. That's why the guides want to talk to you about this tonight, because they know you've been under a great deal of pressure. But use that time, that idle time, that lockdown time, use it to your advantage. 15 minutes a day. That's not very much time. Every day you do this, you'll get better and better at it. Because you know why? You'll get better at telling yourself the truth. Yeah.
How do you think kids approach giving up different than adults? I mean, when you're kids, you don't have a lot of the distractions you have as an adult, I guess. But little kids just are, well, they don't think about giving up. A baby doesn't think about giving up, do they?
Well, kids do think about giving up, Ray. Suicides are through the ceiling. Yeah, they do think about giving up. They get peer pressure. They get bullied. They have pressure on them about what are you going to do when you grow up? What's your grade average? Can you afford to go to that college? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Okay, you guys don't need all that pressure. You don't need it. Think about, okay, if that pressure is really getting to you, obviously it's not working. Obviously the pressure doesn't suit you. It doesn't bring out the best in you. And when that's the case, it'll turn into doubting yourself. And then the doubt will turn into fear. So that's many times people, you hear people say, I do really well under pressure. I like it when I let my deadlines run up to the last day and then blast through them. Okay. I don't think anybody can do their best work under that kind of pressure. That's just slamming it out there and getting it over with. You don't really connect with it. You don't want to do it, or you would have done it. You wouldn't have had to put yourself up against the wall to finally do it in the last hour. Okay. And pray that you actually pull it off. That's just nonsense. All right. So if you're pressured and it doesn't feel right, you need to walk away from the pressure. You need to lift the pressure. You need to write down what's pressuring you so you can begin to have this conversation between yourself and your guides. Your guides, every time you sit down and you do this journal writing, you're in a quiet place. You're trying to figure things out. You are learning about yourself. Guess who's there? Every time you take that action, every single time, your guides are going, oh my God, thank God she's or he is finally sitting down and getting still and doing the inquiry within themselves, taking the breath to see what's really going on with them. That's where your guides, that's where we can enter because they're in their present moment. Your guides are always in the present moment. They can only reach you when you're in yours. Okay?
Yeah, I think most of the problem with adults that I can observe is that they might be trying to quit this or quit that, quit smoking, quit, eating the wrong stuff, doing that. But the distractions just distract them. I mean, they got all these distractions when they come home. They got kids and, their spouse and the TV and the computer and their phones ringing. And
the lockdown got rid of that. Mm-hmm. The lockdown shut you down, stopped you in your tracks. So it was your opportunity. Do you think that was an accident? It wasn't an accident. Now, all the politics and all the, could be this and, the Democrats are doing that and the Republicans are doing that. And they're like, and there's all this stuff coming from this world perspective. Yeah, all that's going on. But there's a bigger reason why these things happen. And that comes from over here, from where you reside, where you came in as, where you came in with your guides, your team, to help you through this lifetime. This over here in this world is just chaos. So yeah, they're both going on. They are definitely both going on. This takes this world, chaos and all this, and it moves you over here so you can become more of who you are as you describe what's going on with you, so you can then see it as you move through it day after week after month after year.
So people have a tough time envisioning their goal or what they want to change. right?
Yeah, sometimes we have trouble. Okay, I'll use an example. Um, I used to smoke cigarettes.
Uh-oh.
I did that, and I quit smoking in 1996. I went on a tour to Japan. I was there for 2 weeks when we started the internet, and the internet was brand new at the time. As far as it was all dial up at the time, and had a 2 week tour in Japan where Osaka TV sponsored us. And on the plane there, we were first class back and forth, but everyone on the plane smoked. I thought I was going to gag. I couldn't stand it. Then when I got to Japan, I felt vertigo the whole time I was there, real unstable landmass. I could hardly eat when I was there. It really, I got, my energy field was really disrupted on purpose. Okay. On the flight back, I almost threw up all the way back because the vertigo for 2 weeks, couldn't eat. Then the smoking was getting to me. Coming back, and when we were coming back on that plane ride, I said, "That's it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit this." And it's like when they tell you to quit smoking, the one of the ways they suggest that you go about quitting is get a bunch of cigarettes and smoke them all, okay, until you can't stand them anymore, and then quit after you get that really nasty feeling. You feel like you're going to get sick and everything. That then you can quit. Well, it's kind of like the way it happened for me. Okay. But before that, I set the stage. No smoking in the house, no smoking in the car. I didn't want it on my clothes. If I did smoke, I washed my hands right away to get it off of me. I was working that way so that when this happened, I mean, the guidance was moving me that way. Linda, it's time to stop doing this. All right. And I quit. It took me 90 days. I'll never forget this. 90 days of total suffering. Oh, did I suffer? I couldn't believe how much it hurt to quit. On the 91st day, I had no more suffering. I didn't ever think about it again. I've never even dreamed about it. Never looked back. Okay. But you know what, you guys? I had help. You all have help. You're just missing it. You're not recognizing it when it's there. All the way along for the year before, I had guidance, set the stage to quit smoking, do everything to enhance the potential to succeed the first time out. And I did that. I followed the guidance for the year. And then that trip to Japan and back, whoa, I got my, like they say, smoke, 3 packs of cigarettes and feel sick, and then you won't want to smoke them anymore. That's what the Japan flight back to the US felt like to me. All right. I was really done. And even though I was really done, I woke up every day in a great deal of stress because that urge was so strong. But you know what? On that 91st day, it was over. It was like day and night. So is it easy? Is it easy? Sometimes it's not easy. That was not easy for me, but I did it. And how do you quit smoking and not gain a bunch of weight? Okay. I mean, the whole thing is I didn't gain a bunch of weight. I drank a lot of ice water. Just couldn't stop drinking ice water. Of course, I was flushing out my system, purifying, all the damage I had done, whatever. And so, these things are not easy, you guys, even with the help that you get, even with the guidance you get, even when the timing is perfect, even when the stage has been set, like what I did all that. It was still not easy, but darn it, you can do it. It 90 days was not that bad. That's not too much to save your health. Okay.
Do you think that some people make the mistake of trying to quit all at once, cold turkey,
without planning,
without the planning?
without
with plan for what, a year?
A year. And I was guided to do it, Ray. I'm telling you, I knew I was being guided to, I could feel that energy. All right. So anytime you feel like you're being guided to do something and you go, oh, I've been doing that for so long. I don't know if I could do it. I don't feel like I'm strong enough. I can't do that. Yes, that's true. You can't do that the day that you've been guided to start setting the stage. That's true. And they know that. The guides know that. That's why they asked you to set the stage. That's why you need to write it down. So you remember what you're doing and why you're doing it and when you started doing it. So you don't lose your grip. You never give up. Whatever it is, you never give up. You're here to do what you came here to do. You're here to live the life you intended, you guys. Don't give up on yourself just because this stuff's going on out there. That's that stuff, okay? I'm talking about this stuff right here. I'm talking about who first came here with your team of guides to help see you through it. You've got more going for you than you realize, but you will realize it once you start writing it down.
Yeah, quitting cold turkey is
Unreasonable.
You didn't. Well, I guess you started cold turkey. I mean, there's the first day you started.
Ray, unless you've been through it, you don't know what it's
I
like.
quit smoking. I did.
So how long did you smoke, Ray?
2 weeks. I was 16. I couldn't afford them.
Actually, he was too cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So and you hear people talk like that and they go, God, you used to smoke? That's disgusting. That's a judgment. Okay.
Well, a lot of people don't quit smoking until they get a scare.
That's what happened to my mom. Yeah. And, so some people will quit without the planning. It just, the doctor tells them you're going to die if you don't stop. Okay. And then you go, oh, well, I guess I don't want to die, so I'll stop. And that's very hard. That's just as hard, but it's not something where they do it willingly, So this thing about never giving up is something that you're not in this life alone, you guys. You won't know that for sure until you do the work, until 15 minutes a day, just 15 minutes a day to bring your real self back into the picture so that you're running full throttle. You're not just in this world, but you have returned to the scene. And now you're connected. Now you can feel the guidance. You know when to move on it, and you know how to take the action. Okay, this is a 4-step process with every journal entry. Taking the action is the last part of the process for every single journal entry. All right, that's what makes you responsible. You guys want to be responsible. It's not what it sounds like. Oh, you must be responsible. Nah. I want the responsibility. You know why? Nobody can do it better than me. For me. Nobody can take better care of me than I can. For me. That's what I mean by that for you. All right. You want to be responsible. You want to be the one in charge of yourself.
Well, that's probably one of the biggest things of why people give up. They don't take responsibility for their goal. They don't want it bad enough.
Well, you don't feel like you can do it, you guys. It's not that you don't want it bad enough. Yes, you do. You do too. I'm going to stand up for you. You do want it bad enough. I wanted to quit smoking. I needed the extra reinforcement. I needed the support. I needed that, okay? And you'll find it right here in your writing. You will be surprised. 1 month of this, and you guys will be hooked. You're going to see that you have the help. You're going to see that you are capable of the responsibility and that you don't want to hand that off to anybody else. Okay, I'm going to read something here on how it works in this insight. This is in Guided. This is at the very beginning of Guided. I talk about where I dedicated Guided to, who I dedicated it to. Never give up, you have help. This is the moral of my story, Guided. This is the dedication in Guided. I dedicate this book to those who have guided me, my life coaches, my best friends, my spirit guides. Thank you for your infinite wisdom, teachings, patience, your impeccable timing and clarity, and your unyielding love and support. Thanks to my spirit guide angels, I have lived to tell my story. Without all of you, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have wanted to. So I know how this feels to have this guidance on your side. I literally wouldn't have made it through my childhood had I not had it. It was horrendous. And they were there with me. And I started my journal writing at 7 years old. And I'm telling you, you guys, it saved my life. It made my life. It didn't just save it. It didn't just say, here's another breath for you, Linda. Here's another night's sleep. Here's a little more food. Just it wasn't about surviving. It was about becoming me under the radar, where nobody else noticed, nobody gave a damn, where nobody else noticed what I was doing. I had this conversation with my guides, with myself in my journal writing. Hence, here's the journal I suggest for you. I know it works. It saved a little girl. It saved a little girl, and it showed me the way. And it kept me in the game in a way where I had access to higher learning. I knew what to do and when to do it every single time. And I knew I was never alone and always being guided. I knew they were always helping me. That's why I talk with you guys about this. That's why I share this information with you.
Do you think that sometimes people give up? They're trying to stop a bad habit. Do you think they give up because they're afraid they're going to get judged by their friends?
Oh, all the time. That's so superficial. That is such a nonsense.
I mean, like
once you write it down, if you're doing that kind of stuff, once you start writing it down, you're going to look at what you're writing down and go, well, I'm not going to let them do that to me. No way am I giving them my power away to that. You're going to see it. But you can't fix it until you become conscious of it. You can't become conscious of it until you write it down. And then you still won't get it until you review it several days or weeks later or months later. All right?
Yeah, I think of an example of like you have a group of friends that they all like to go out drinking together, but the doctor tells you got to stop drinking. You know, you're going to ruin your liver or whatever. And you're weighing this, well, I better stop drinking, but I don't want to give up my friends. And, I don't want to give up that feeling of camaraderie or the little family we have. But all of a sudden you stop drinking and
you're no fun.
You're no fun anymore.
You're no fun to those people who
Right.
look at drinking like that's the bond you have, the common ground that you all share.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's weak.
Well,
that's a weak common ground, but it's an unhealthy habit that they all shared.
Well, I don't judge that. I
don't either. I mean, I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I know you do, and it's just something that everybody's ready at their own time. And if you're here with me, if you guys find this information, then that's not who you are. You are here because you want to quit hurting. You want to move on. You want to get around to why you came here. You want the high road. You want to engage with your power. Okay. You don't want to be small and somebody who needs somebody else and all these other people, to make you feel good. I mean, it's nice to have friends and stuff like that. But you guys, if it's a crutch, that's not healthy. That's not healthy for you to do. But this thing about never giving up, I'm going to talk about suicide for a minute. I have to talk about it because it's a huge thing right now. And never giving up for people who are contemplating suicide or they've attempted it. I know what it's like because I talk about it in Guided where I attempted it once when I was a kid. And I couldn't stand the whole thing anymore. I couldn't stand another day of going through what I was going through in that childhood. Okay. I really couldn't stand it. And I attempted suicide. And I remember I remember how it felt moving into that energy and carrying it out. Okay, I didn't, obviously I'm still here. So somebody finds me on the bathroom floor in the school bathroom, um, passed out on the floor in the bathroom stall where I tried to do this and not have anybody interrupt me, right? But somebody happened to walk in. I mean, guidance. They moved somebody through there and scraped me off the floor and took me to the hospital and pumped my stomach. That's it. But what was it like to walk through that? Did that really feel like for somebody who had guidance, who had this connection, okay, but didn't have any connection in this world, none. Okay, I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted the pain to stop.
Yeah.
I wanted the pain to stop. That's what I wanted to stop. I had enough of it. At that point, I was 11 years old. All I'd known in this world is nothing but pain being thrown at me, one dagger after another. My mom was always planning another shot at me, another way to attack me. I mean, it was nonstop and nobody stuck up for me in this world. I got sick of it. So when I did that, it was because I was just tired. I was tired of the pain of being here. That's why I did that. So people that attempt suicide, they don't do it because they want to die. They do it because they want the pain to stop.
That's a big difference.
Writing in your journal will identify the pain that you're going through. Okay? And as a kid, I couldn't get away from these family members. It was in the that was in the 60s. That was in 19 in fact it was 1962, 3 63. And I was out of bullets. I mean, I was out of fuel to keep myself going. And so I really know. In fact, when I did this, I had absolutely no feeling at all. None. No feeling. I was way past never giving up. I was gone. So this thing about never giving up, if you see somebody in pain, or if you're the one in pain, the one that's hurting, and thinking like that, first of all, check the meds you're on. The meds could be pushing you into it. The meds, a lot of people are on medication to help them with psychotic drugs, okay? And sleeping pills.
Sleeping pills.
Those are really tough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you guys really have to take a look at what you're doing and realize some of this stuff's tipping you over the edge and not making you rational at all. If you are writing down what's going on with you, you're way ahead of the game, okay? Way ahead of it. When I was a kid, if I had an option to get out of that family, I would have taken it. Instead, I had to wait until I turned 16 and get pregnant on purpose. I did it on purpose so that family would finally let me go. And it worked. I got out of it and launched my whole life. It just took off. Nothing could stop me. It's been magic ever since. I got that foot off my neck, you know? So this is really, if I was to say, this is a choice. No, this is really not a choice. Not anymore. Now it's time to get conscious. It's time to see what's going on. It's time to answer to yourself. It's time to take responsibility. It's time to wake up. It's time to become conscious and create the life that you came here to live. It's not about, oh, I should go to school and I got to get this diploma and that diploma and this. You know what? That you're going to find out that's not true. In fact, with the schools in the disarray that they're in right now, it's meant to wake people up to the fact that this has not been the ideal learning environment to begin with. I can tell you that. I always thought school was it could have been done a lot better. I learned from my guides. I had this higher learning going on. I mean, it was much more challenging and interesting and timely. One thing about the guides, when they bring through guidance or something that you need to learn, it always fits where you are right now. It's not pushing something on you, a curriculum on you, that because you're in a certain age group in a certain class, you have to learn this. That's not how your guides teach you anything, ever. They bring things to the forefront that you happen to be perfectly aligned with at the time. Now tell me if that's not superior learning.
Yeah, big difference between getting an education and learning something.
Write down what's going on with you, because this is where you're going to purge that, where you're going to see what they're sending you. It's subtle. It's constant. It's always coming through. It's safe. See, when you write in your journal, it's yours. It's safe. It's between you and yourself. That's why when you write in your journal, this part of you, this world, this part of you, that real you that retreated because this world was so harsh and pushed you, you retreated. You couldn't take it. This world was too much. And you left the scene. When you write in here, guess what happens? This is still alive. This starts to come back. This starts to come back. And it comes back. And it starts to trust. It starts to trust. And there you have it. When you have this, and now you have both. Now you're fully engaged in this life. Now you can pull off the life you intended. This will bring you back. This will bring you back. It's what allowed me, my true self, to build on when I started journaling at age 7 years old. Saved me, helped me really understand. I became a scholar of what was going on. While everybody else thought they knew everything, I just let them think that they knew it all and left it at that. While I was really, really sinking my teeth into what was going on, learning about who I was. After I got out of that childhood at 16, by the time I was 19, I was a superstar in Sacramento, a home builder, an architect, a subcontractor, a businesswoman. I handled all the contracts. I dealt with all the banks. I dealt with everything. Okay. And designed and built my own homes. I wasn't even educated for it, you guys. I was guided. Okay. Da-da. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up.
That's how you started designing homes. You started writing it down.
Exactly.
Start drawing all the time.
That's right. Exactly right. And these things I was doing, this thing that poured out of me naturally, that I learned to do as a child, that made, it was the only thing that made sense to me. Look at the world you're living in. Chaos, craziness. What do you believe? How do you believe that, or do you believe this, or do you pretty much everything's a scam? You can't believe anything. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's never been more important to write it down. I just can't say this enough. It's gonna save you guys. It's going to give you your life back. Never giving up is not something you'll ever have to worry about again. It'll be non-existent. You'll have everything to live for, everything. Who do we have with us, Ray?
We have a robust crowd on YouTube. A lot of them. Well, I said Linda Schwartz with us. Jane Amron's with us.
Jane.
Hey, I told
Been
you.
a while,
I
Jane.
have not seen her in a while.
Yep.
Vanessa from
Vanessa.
Australia.
Yep.
International.
We got him.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions about this, as I talk about this, as I share about this, as I go into the depth of it and why and how it really works in your life, lay your questions down, your comments down. If you have someone you're trying to help, that's mirroring you in some way.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember when I was a kid, my little brother when I felt like, oh man, this just can't get any worse here at home. This can't get any worse. I would take my little brother with the money I had, because I was the one that always had the money. And because I found ways to make money. And I would take him bowling, and I would take him um, uh, to the archery field, and we would shoot arrows, bow and arrows. And I would take him to,
Amusement park.
Wonderland,
Yeah.
our park. And and we'd go skateboarding and riding our bikes and go play basketball. And I left on every time I could get out away from that family. I would take my little brother and I would show him a good time. Because I felt so bad for him. I knew that, he was a year and a half younger than me. So he didn't have this access to his guides. So he was really tormented, and he turned out to be a manic depressant schizophrenic, ward of the state of California. That's what it did to him.
That's what your mother did to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what an unsupportive family did to him.
Right.
And I had the guides with me, you guys. I had the journal writing. I had this higher understanding, and it still almost took me out. So never give up. When you feel like you might be giving up, help someone else.
That's a good idea. There's always somebody that needs help.
There's always somebody that needs help. All right. So, Ray, do we have any questions from anybody? No, you guys. But I know you guys are feeling this. I know you're understanding this. And if you all have, here's my point. You all have a great purpose in this life that you may have touched on here and there. You may have had a taste of, just like me. I've had successes and stuff, but I feel the best I've ever felt at this time in my life, where I can help somebody else. All right. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. It's about helping somebody else. It's about helping you and getting you 30 days, you guys. Can you believe it? 30 days, just 15 minutes a day. Do it. Okay. So I'm going to make a few announcements before the guides come through with their closing message today. Join me on August 4th. I will be streaming live on my Facebook page, Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Use the search term Linda Deer. This will be a Q&A and commentary for next Tuesday's Insight, published in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, with me, Ray, and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about exposing your restless life. Everything seemed to be going along just fine in your life, and then the pandemic hit, causing everything to grind to a halt. Your daily routine has been interrupted, causing you to feel restless. The routine you relied on for having fun has worn you down, making you feel tired and bored. The old routine looks very distant now, and you are even afraid it may never come back again the way you remember it. So, start getting Linda's Weekly Guided Insights delivered to your email box each Tuesday morning. Sign up. It's free. Look for the link in the description of this video. Training with Linda. One-on-one training with Linda and her guided journal writing system. Look for the link in the description of this video. That's where I teach you how to use these journals. Okay? Consciousness training and course correction training. So once I get you conscious of what's going on, I work with you each week for a half hour each week. Then I take you through the course correction you need to make now that you see it for yourself. It's powerful. Okay, get the replay of our webinar from July 25th. That's last Saturday, entitled A Message from the Light Beings, Preparing You for Your New Experiences, with Linda Deer, Ray Hawley, and the Light Beings. The Light Beings describe what it will be like when you are released into this newly reopened world. Look for the link to this webinar in the description of the video. All right. And like always, we're going to do the closing message. If my work helps you in any way, I'm talking about Tuesdays, Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. Saturday, oh, by the way, Saturday, I will be reading from Guided, Chapter 14 of Guided, on my Facebook page, Facebook timeline, and YouTube channel at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So don't miss it. So that's what I do with my books, Guided, the journals, and I've got 2 other books, How to Live a Guided Life, First Steps, and How to Live a Guided Life, Meeting the Real You. 5 books.
Those Saturdays are getting real popular.
And let me finish this. And also, I do coaching. I'm a transition coach. Get you guys turned around, let you speak to your guides, have that conversation with them. And training with Linda, I train you on the guided journal writing system. If my work, all the things I do, helps you in any way, please share this video, take them to my website, share what I do, because it helps people. It will pull them through this situation and rise up in a positive way, in a fulfilling way. Actually live the life you intended before you got here. Remember who you are. Okay, so the guides are going to close the session about never giving up.
Be careful of giving in little by little. That is the precursor to giving up. We cannot stress too much how important it is to write down everything you are experiencing and feeling. It's the only way that you will be able to see the goal and not give up. Track your progress every day and not your perfection.
Right.
You must face your fears and stand up to them. It's important that you face them head on, write them down, look at why you have those fears. Rather than giving up, try changing your beliefs. Your beliefs can keep you stuck in habits that lead to giving up. Change those habits. It's changing little by little your daily routine, your beliefs, your habits, that must happen before you can change your life.
You start by writing them down. Nobody's going to see this. This is nobody's business but your own. But the more transparent you are when you write it down. You guys have all read or listened to Guided. Transparent? I know what I'm talking about. That book is transparent. That book just goes, and that's for your benefit. That's so you guys can do it. That's so you guys can release it. You can face it, look at it, write it down. It's for your eyes only. You, as soon as you write it down, believe it or not, you are already moving through it. It's almost history. And your real life is coming back. That's you. You are beginning to come back because you can trust yourself now. This isn't so overwhelming and dominant, pounding on this, causing this to retreat, pulling back, always on the defense, terrified. Go ahead, Ray.
Jane says she'd stopped writing in her journal for some time, but just resumed after some emotional turmoil only just a few days ago. She felt so much better instantly and felt like she was received guidance. I'll be making it a habit to keep writing in it again.
Jane. What can I say, Jane? You are beautiful. Okay, this is it, you guys. Jane, I get email all the time from my fan base about how the journal's changing their lives, you guys, giving them their lives back. All right. This world is not that important. It doesn't deserve to take your life, fear you out of your life. That's taking it way too seriously. The only way you get your life back is start to make friends with this part of you where it's not so dominant anymore. And this can come back. This comes back by trusting you. How much can you trust you? You feel that. But when you have this, you guys are there. You're there. But you know what? You can slip off your path. If you don't keep writing it down, it's called getting cocky. Okay? Just keep writing it down so that you stay true to yourself and you keep that connection. You keep that presence so that guidance can reach you. It's one and the same, just like what Jane said. Jane, I love you.
Yep.
Good work.
Yep.
Great work. And you guys, as you're moving through this, if you're working in your journal and you need a little help from me, if you need to understand something, email me, linda@lindadeer.com. Put your name in the subject line so I don't miss your email. I get a lot of email, all right? And when I see your name, you will not slip through my spam filter, okay? I will grab onto that. So you guys let me know I'm on your side. I want you to see you make this. I want to see you get your life back. I want to see you live a fulfilling life and fulfill what you came here to do.
Find that purpose.
You guys are there. Share this with your friends. I will see you guys on Saturday. I'll be reading chapter 14 of Guided.
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting into some intense stuff now at that time in my life.
When we first started doing this, more than like 14, 15 weeks ago, we had a few people show up. First, now 800 people are watching.
I know. It's crazy. So, it's timely. It's about helping each other, you guys. So I will see you Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I will see you next Tuesday.
Be there. Stay well, be kind.